My name is Professor Ndubeze Okonkwo. I'm a medical doctor with my specialties in internal medicine and subspecialty in nephrology and hypertension, as well as solid organ transplantation medicine, consulting in kidney and pancreas transplants. I'm a registered physician in Nigeria as well as United States. And I have observed, like many others have, that in some areas in Nigeria, there is total disregard to the life of patients as it concerns, particularly when someone has an emergency need. In some quarters, they are told that the doctor is not on seat. In other cases, they are told they need to bring police identification, either because they have trauma or gunshot wound before they are treated. And as a community service to the public, I want to let the public know that we have laws in the book that prevent physicians or any other person from doing this. You can refer to the National Health Act of 2014, as well as Victim of Gunshot Wounds Act of 2017. These two laws prohibit any individual from refusing to render health where they can to patients who have emergency needs, either in a hospital or in clinics, because of requirements that they themselves have created, requiring patients to provide police identification or police report before they are treated. And if one may extend it to the issues of doctor is not on seat. If a hospital advertises itself as a hospital, there has to be a physician there. Physician is not on seat, then somebody has to be on call for you. This will prevent many unnecessary deaths. The recent death of the Arise TV anchor, who was also a lawyer, demonstrates how awful this circumstance has become in Nigeria. It appears that those who have power and money don't care about the general public or the rest of us. I am sure that many of our senators will not show up in a hospital in Nigeria and be told that they need a police report for them to be treated if they have trauma resulting from an accident or any other traumatic injury. I am calling on the public to know, as a community service, that there are laws in the book that prevent physicians and hospitals and other caregivers from carrying this illegal act with impunity. We have the National Health Act of 2014, which is a law in Nigeria, as well as the Victim of Gunshot Act of 2017. These two laws prevent people from refusing to treat somebody who is in dire emergency need following trauma or any emergency without stabilizing the patient, while requesting unnecessary documents or money. One of the things that makes one a physician is not just academic qualifications. One is the common knowledge. A common denominator for a physician is do no harm. And when you see a patient in need, regardless of creed, religion, gender, you have to stabilize the patient, even if he doesn't have money. That's a call of duty for physicians and caregivers. So the untimely death of the Arise TV anchor, Attorney Somtochukwu Madagu is another evidence of having two Nigerians in one Nigeria. One for the rich people and one for the poor. And that should not be allowed to exist. So this is to let the public know when you show up in a hospital or any clinic or anywhere care is given and you have an emergency, you have the right to be treated. And if they do not treat you, you have the right to bring them to court for recourse. And if you don't have the capacity to do so, there are many lawyers in Nigeria and there are many organizations, including mine, one of which is a New Nigerian Democracy here in the United States, whose goal is to help ensure good governance that protects and governs all Nigerians. We have called on the Medical Council, the Bar Association of Nigeria, the Senate and Office of the Presidency to do all they can to enforce the law in the book to protect Nigerians from unnecessary death. Many wealthy people run out of Nigeria and go to other countries to go and get a treatment that they deny their own citizens in the same country where they govern. The public ought to know that even if the person is spending his money to go and get help elsewhere, that those who cannot afford it, there are Nigerian hospitals that belong to the federal government and state governments where you can go and get the basic medical need without being denied the care that you need simply because you are not a wealthy person. So we call on all Nigerians, including the churches, the mosques, women organizations, trade organizations, all organizations in Nigeria, the civil service organization, the teachers, to rise and demand this because this is the right of every Nigerian. Nobody should die because of either the greed or ignorance of any physician or any hospital in demanding the things that are not necessary to stabilize a patient. Here in the United States, this law is called EMTALA. If you show up in any hospital, regardless of ability to pay, regardless of how you sustain the trauma, the cause of your trauma, who shot you and who didn't shoot you, whether you're a thief or you are not, you need to be stabilized first. The law can come then and arrest you at the end of the treatment. If you run away, they have means of finding you, but at least your life will be saved first before they find out if you committed a crime or not. It is not the duty of a hospital to assume someone is a criminal because the person was shot and then deny the person treatment unless he gets a police report. And then we are told that the police requires them to do so. It is not true. Inspector General of Police put up a public announcement a long time ago reminding people of these two acts that I had mentioned before. We should not allow this to continue to happen. Let us take care of one another as human beings, particularly those of us who are physicians, to do your job the same way you want to be treated when you are sick. Extend such treatment to anybody who comes your way. That is what is required of a physician. And in summary, if you are denied care, no matter your ability to pay or not, contact NND, New Nigerian Democracy, based here in the United States, or find a lawyer in Nigeria, or take your case to medical counsel and report the particular physician to medical counsel, and then find lawyers to sue the physician or the hospital in question, take them to court to pay you compensation. And I hope the family of Attorney Maduagu will take on this hospital and the doctors and caregivers that denied her care and ask the government to seek redress for the family, as well as punish these physicians and the caregivers who were responsible for this. It was bad enough that the criminals went to kill her and she tried to escape. And she came to those who can help her, and they turned her down. And this is not an isolated case. It happens every day in the country. I hope this message gets to all Nigerians, both in Nigeria and in diaspora, in order to help us stop this, because this is a calamity that needs to be taken care of quickly.